failing has become critical in my growth. I graduated from the University of Miami. I had a terrible senior year. I had a bad injury. You only get one shot as a senior. You don't come back. And Warren Sapp came in and lit the world on fire with how he played. We pushed each other. We were partners. He outplayed me, beat me out of my position. And I had a really terrible year that year. I graduated, didn't get invited to the combine, the NFL combine, and I didn't get drafted in the NFL. And I had one option, and that option was the CFL. So now you work so hard for 10 years, and draft day comes. You only get one shot. Warren Sapp gets taken in the first round. All my other teammates who are NFL worthy were gone. They're in the NFL signing their big contracts. And I signed a contract with the CFL to make $350 a week Canadian. That lasted for 3 months, and I got cut. I got sent back home, and I had to move back in with my parents at 24 years old after I left at 18, ready to tackle the world. And in my way, I did. But I had fallen so flat on my face for the first time in my life. I was depressed, asking myself why? Why me? How come this happened? I worked so hard. Hard work pays. I always thought. It's not paying for me. I got nothing. I literally had $7 in my pocket, so my $7 story. That failure. Rising from that to say, it's not over for me. I'm immediately going to launch myself into training for professional wrestling.
Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Fall forward. This is what I mean. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward.
Now, I've actually always found something to be very true, which is most people don't get those experiences because they never ask. I've never found anybody that didn't want to help me if I asked them for help. I always call them up. I called up, this will date me, but I called up Bill Hewlett when I was 12 years old. And he lived in Palo Alto. His number was still in the phone book. And he answered the phone himself. Yes, hi, I'm Steve Jobs. I'm 12 years old. I'm a student in high school, and I want to build a frequency counter. And I was wondering if you had any spare parts I could get. And he laughed, and he gave me the spare parts to build this frequency counter, and he gave me a job that summer in Hewlett-Packard, working on the assembly line, putting nuts and bolts together on frequency counters. He got me a job in the place to build them. And I was in heaven. And I've never found anyone who said no or hung up the phone when I called. I just asked. And when people ask me, I try to be as responsive, to pay that debt of gratitude back. Most people never pick up the phone and call. Most people never ask. And that's what separates sometimes the people that do things from the people that just dream about them. You gotta act. And you've got to be willing to fail. You got to be willing to crash and burn. You know, with people on the phone, with starting a company, whatever. If you're afraid of failing, you won't get very far. I'm not sure I learned this when I was at Apple, but I learned it based on the data when I was at Apple. And that is, I now take a longer-term view on people. In other words, when I see something not being done right, my first reaction isn't to go fix it. It's to say, we're building a team here and we're going to do great stuff for the next decade, not just the next year. And so, what do I need to do to help so that the person that's screwing up learns versus how do I fix the problem? And that's painful sometimes. I still have that first instinct to go fix the problem, but that's taking a longer-term view on people is probably the biggest thing.
Here, listen to me. It is easier to be successful than it is to fail in life. I know some of you, if you're having a hard time, you're having trouble with money, your relationships aren't working, maybe, who knows how bad your problems are right now. You got a drug problem, an alcohol problem, a girlfriend problem, boyfriend problem. You had somebody, you just lost a mom or a dad. You're depressed, you're down, you're in a big transition. Maybe you lost your job. I've been through every one of those scenarios and more. And I'm just telling you what I wish somebody would have told me at 25 years old when I was broke. At 30, when I was starting my business and I was failing in it for 3 years, 39 months to be exact. In my first marriage that didn't work out, okay? When I had a lawsuit that I didn't even know how to handle because they don't teach you that in any school. A frivolous lawsuit, by the way, completely like out of nowhere. When I've been hated on, criticized, counted out, I wish somebody would have told me this one thing. It is easier to be successful. Just keep this in mind. Make this your go-to piece of knowledge. It is easier to be successful than it is to fail.
It was the best years of my life. I was knocked down 3 times, but kept coming back alive. I lift off my aircraft carrier. I look down at my gauges, flying around with this, and I could see something flickering. I said, oh my God. Here I am with rockets, machine gun, a crew of 5. I go, oh my God. It's called the NG gauge. That meant there was something wrong with my turbines. Suddenly, boom, the thing quits. Stomach comes up. All of a sudden, I'm looking down like this, and the natural tendency for anybody in that situation is to pull back. But the Marine Corps and Navy trains us so well, the moment that engine quit, we're trained by practice to push forward. So the people that will be successful in this room are the people that when it gets tough, you push forward.
Thank you for listening. Click the subscribe button and tune in for more videos to be better, achieve success, and to be relentlessly motivated. Stay tuned and stay safe.